Everybody, and to this webinar about CSC's trainee program. We're so excited to see that actually many of you have joined us and have shown an interest in CSC and our program. My name is Leah Holin, and I'm responsible for this program in CSC, and I will be your hostess for the afternoon. And joining me today are Thomas Thisted Hajbæk. He's our current Java trainee. We have Hajbæk also. He is a current SAP trainee. And they will take you through their careers within CSC. They will talk about, the decisions they have made, as well as why they chose to actually be part of CSC. Also joining us today are Berit Østerberg. She is the Nordic Test Solution Lead. We have Søren Winkel, who is the Nordic Lead in SAP. And then we have Navita Jain, who is the Nordic Expert Services Lead. They will take you through each of their business areas, and they will explain in depth what daily life can look like in their environment. Throughout our presentation, please use the chat window if you have any questions, and we will conduct a questions and answer session right after the presentation. So don't be shy. There are no stupid questions. We are here for you, so any questions you might have, use the chat window and we will take them right after our presentation. So the agenda for the next 30 or 40 minutes is to give you a brief overview of CSC as a company, the offerings that we have, our values, clients, business units, and we will spend the majority of the time with Thomas and Hans, so you actually get a chance to meet some of our employees and get a feeling as to what's it like to work for a company like CSC, what has the program been for them to join, and stuff like that. And we really hope that you'll find this interesting and that you see this as an opportunity to apply to our program. But let's do part of that journey by going to the next slide of our presentation today. As you may know, CSC has been in business for quite a while. We've been a leader in the IT industry for more than 50 years, and our client successes have been the benchmark of our business from the very beginning. Early on in our history, we built and delivered innovative software products, and many of our projects actually supported the rise of the US space program, hence the astronaut on our slideware here. And we've also used it intensively in this recruitment campaign. Later on, we created some global time-sharing networks and pioneered the use of IT outsourcing for Fortune 500 businesses. And today, we've grown to become one of the largest and most respected IT service providers in the world. We have revenues exceeding $13 billion, and we have more than 80,000 professionals serving clients from every industry all over the globe. As CSC has evolved, what never changes is our commitment to our clients and to their successes. So our mission will always be to help the organizations we work with benefit from new technologies and innovative ideas. So hopefully you'll find this interesting. As we know that the majority of students out there are interested in global companies, well, we could definitely say that we are a global powerhouse. Looking at our service offerings, we have some deep technical expertise, knowledge, and IP in our business. We have 80,000 highly skilled, passionate people with deep domain expertise. We are investing in creating more of our own innovative software and IP. We are establishing offerings, lifecycle management to build what we call proven, leading-edge, repeatable solutions in our industry. We are also investing in market-leading platforms, cloud. I'm sure you've heard that before. Cybersecurity, a huge issue at the moment. And also big data is one of our focus areas. And we've focused our investments in these leading capabilities. We're also layering our experience in IP to create proven what we call differentiated offerings. We are partnering with key players to bring end-to-end solutions. Players like HCL, Service Mesh, AT&T, and lastly, we've also done a partnership with Amazon. So all of this is powered by a focus on delivering excellence. We're building what we call global delivery networks, new reporting systems to track and improve account health, new delivery networks for workplace, platform, service management, and data centers. Just to give you an overview of the global scale and reach of CSC, we have a presence in more than 70 countries, and this just gives you an overview of where in the world you can meet CSC and our employees. We have delivery centers, centers that provide delivery of our infrastructure and application offerings to client and develop software, and it does not include what we call iSoft delivery. We have data centers, centers that contain servers and other equipment that service clients. We have service centers, and those are centers that provide IT service management, such as help desk services to clients all over the world. Having a closer look at our values are clear, and as a global company, it's important that we have values that each of us can relate to, and that we actually in our everyday life act on these values. And these set of values help us as employees in having pride in our workplace, being motivated, working in a culture that strives for excellence, being at a great place to work, knowing what is expected of us, and caring about CSC. Having a closer look at CSC in the Nordics, where this program is originating from and where the positions are actually located. We have colleagues in 4 countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Lithuania. And we've had a presence in this region since 1994. We have 14 offices across the region and are more than 2,600 employees. As you can see, the clients we serve across the region span from Telenor to Saab to the police and tax authorities in Denmark and some of the major banks in Norway. So we actually have quite a footprint on both the public market but also the manufacturing and diversified markets in the region. This is just our wall of fame for our region, giving you some facts and highlights of some of the major achievements we've had over the last couple of years. In Denmark, we develop and operate a large number of IT systems that handle vital functions in the Danish society. Tax, we've mentioned that, but also the CPR registry and other vital systems we actually handle for the Danish government. Scandi Health is another one. It's a healthcare division, was actually selected as European Solution Center back in 2009. And in Sweden, we were awarded what they call the Guldnatten for Sweden's most parental-friendly and gender equality workplace, also back in 2009. And just looking at the Baltics in Vilnius, it's a nearshore center that we actually established 5 years ago, and it has grown from 0 to more than 300 employees actually today in 5 years. So that's also a growth market that we're looking for. So hopefully this has given you a small glimpse of what type of company CSC is. And I will now turn over to Thomas, who will now give you a brief introduction to himself, his career, why he chose CSC. Yeah. Take it away, Thomas.
Yeah, hi. As Leah said, I'm Thomas, and I am a Java trainee here at CSC. I started in October last year, and have been working on a number of different technologies since then. I come from I have a bachelor's degree in software development from the IT University of Denmark in Copenhagen, which has proven me very profitable in CSC. It has been a very good way to get into the whole company. I chose CSC as the first step in my career, and hopefully also the place where my career is going to be for the next many years, because it's one of the, as Leah said, it's one of the biggest companies in IT in the world. It's on the Fortune 500. I can't remember what number, but being in one of these, being in such a big company means there's a lot of talent, and that means again that there's a lot of teachers, there's a lot of mentors, there's a lot of people who can teach me what they cannot teach me at the university. So yeah. Sorry. Currently I'm working on on a project for the Danish tax system, which is a big old project that has been going for 8 years, and so it has been very exciting to jump into this project and just having all these having a lot of stuff that was already done but needed to be fixed, because in such a big project there's a lot of voices, there's a lot of people who put their fingerprints on, and it has been very exciting to see what I've been able to contribute to such a project, coming fresh out of university. Some of the pros of being on such a project, as it's is that, of course, there's a lot of established tech already, so you don't need to bring in all the fresh ideas. Even though there is room for fresh ideas, you can rely on a lot of the established knowledge that people have. It also means there's a lot to do. With a project that has been running for 8 years, there's a lot of small bugs and a lot of small errors that have creeped in over the years that needs to be fixed, which also means that I've been able to get a lot of training with hands-on on the code, which I think is really exciting. Of course, it's also a bit of a con that there's a lot of established tech already, because you coming fresh out of university as a trainee, you have a lot of great ideas and a lot of new knowledge that you want to put into the whole system, and there's not a lot of room for that. Fortunately, part of the trainee program, for me anyway, and I think that's part of the trainee program in general, that you get to rotate between projects. So I've now been on this project for the last 7-8 months, and I am, at the end of this month, I'm rotating to a new project to make new experiences and learn new stuff. I think that's the best word for it. In CSC, my plan and what I've been given room to learn and do in CSC is first of all, learn a lot of projects and learn a lot of ways to do things, and I'm hoping that at some point in the future I'm going to become a software architect, which is the big dream, and I feel that I've been given room to do that and to go for that as part of the trainee program in CSC. And I think that's about it for me.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And I know you actually said that one of your eye-openers was that you actually developed some code which they put in production the day after. So that was quite.
Oh yeah, within the first month I had code running in production, which was not expected for me.
No.
I thought I was going to be bringing coffee to people and not really doing anything practical until later, but it was hands-on, straight on. Straight on.
Well, thank you, Thomas.
Yep.
And let's move to Hans. And he's in a completely different area. He's a SAP trainee. So Hans, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm Hans. And my background is from Copenhagen Business School. I'm currently doing my master thesis, but I would recommend people to be done with that before, because there's a lot of workload when you get assigned as a trainee, if you want to. Yeah, like Thomas, I got into the graduate program. Actually, I applied for the finance junior manager position, but I was lucky that I got to the SAP division instead, because what I've learned so far is way more interesting than just sitting and controlling. So I'm really glad to be in the SAP division. I applied for CSC because it's a big global company. As Thomas just said, it's just nice to be in a global company where it's possible to rotate if you want to and get new opportunities, and maybe even living abroad one day. And I heard that CSC was in a turnaround period, and instead of coming into a big company with just normal procedures, normal boring standards, it's a lot of stuff happening, and it's great to be part of. And maybe even it's possible to be part of a good history instead of a bad history. I recognize CSC because it was a sponsorship for a Danish cycling team, but the more I learned, it was much more than just a sponsorship. And yeah, that was why I chose CSC, because of some of my network was already working here. And so use your network and hear good stuff about CSC. Currently, I'm working at a project called Debitor Motor. It's from Danish Tax, and we are, in my division, we are split into two teams, DMO and DMI, as you can see. I'm sitting in DMO currently, and we are about 20 people, I think. And the diversity among us is great. We are split into two types of what do you call it, positions. We have the programmers coding in ABAP, and we are applications experts. So that means that some of us are really into coding, and some of us, like me, are not into coding. But we will tell the coder what he should code. But at the moment, we are working in the module PSCD, Public Sector Collection and Disbursement, and it's really good ground knowledge if you want to have education in FICO, FICO, and that's finance and controlling. And hopefully one day I will be able to be an expert in FICO and get on other projects. And at the moment, me and another SAP trainee is hoping to get some more SAP education, and we are promised that we are going to abroad one day. Hopefully it will be India maybe, because then we can get some other experience than just being in Denmark as well. So we look forward to that. I do, anyway. My experience with the workload is fantastic, because if you have the mindset, you can learn a lot. And if you have the mindset of working hard, you can learn more than a lot. You get a lot of responsibility from the beginning, getting to a lot of processes where normally you have to have 1 or 2 years of experience, but after 3 or 4 months you have the right to push a button, and so far it's been really good. Yes.
So what have been your biggest experience so far of the 7 months you've been here?
It's been a constant development of myself. It's been exhausting the first 3-4 months, but so far it's been just learning and learning and learning and learning, and a lot of victories, getting to work that you suddenly can do a lot of things that wasn't possible 4 months ago. Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually got interviewed from to an article You can read on Facebook, CSC Talent, where I said that in 10 years' time, I see myself as a SAP Nordic lead. Hopefully my boss will be on top and he can hire me.
Good hint. So you actually took the words right out of my mouth. If you want to read more about these two interesting trainees that we have here, you can go to the CSC Talent Facebook page, and there is an article on each of them where they are more in depth on the careers and the jobs that they're doing and why they chose CSC. And CSC Talent is a great way for you guys to actually explore the company, what we stand for, the clients, and you can meet some other employees as well. Let's turn to the more technical side, even though this was technical, I know, but let's hand over to Berit Østerberg, who is the test solution lead, and hear her story about test in CSC.
Yep. Hi. My name is Berit Østerberg, as Leah said, working as a test solution lead. Basically, that means working on tenders for any Nordic customer where we have to provide testing solutions, that being large or small. Just to wrap up on these two guys here, I stopped counting the years some years ago in CSC as a tester, not in trainee program, but keeping an open mind. And being observant on any opportunity that might come along. I actually managed to go from tester on different projects through test management, configuration management, project management, you name it, management. I've probably done it. Also working abroad, actually, in a shorter and larger amount of time, and also working as a consultant in different kinds of companies. Some of those actually listed on the prior pages. So it's just a matter of grabbing the opportunity when they come around. So that being said on that part. Going to testing in general, CSC testing is spread all over the global CSC world. It's we are based in pretty much every region. It's the largest testing house, well, one of the largest anyways. And we are also very competitive in prices and technologies. Testing in CSC is, well, if you have a solution and you have to provide it to the customers, which obviously is what we do, you also need to test it. So it's everywhere. It is in all industries. It is in all layers, technical, application, GUI, web, you name it, we're there. Yeah. So you can read more about this actually also on csc.com. It's presented out there. But as you can tell from this slide, there are several industries, and we have a shape, transform, and manage approach to things. So basically what we do, we can go in and a customer in anywhere of these categories, but we prefer actually to start out with a shape, meaning we do an assessment on any company, telling them where they are in the testing and quality, measuring and quality. Testing is has a variety of things to do, and the whole assessment of an organization also provides the customer the knowledge of where they are maturity-wise, so that they can learn from that. So we start there, and we start with just a checklist, really, to give them that, in order to say, well, these things are what you can do to actually improve your own quality. We don't really need to go out there other than doing that assessment, but obviously we can. We actually have our own score, something that has been done here in CSC for several years. On top of that, having done that, then we will, after a presentation, that's usually in sales, this is happening, we start out in a company in that way, and then we will go in and introduce all our tools. We're working with a set of tools across platforms and across, well, technologies really. And we have our own, and we use anything from IBM, HP, whatever, you name it, we probably got it in some sense. We introduce that, in trying to help the customers in providing them even better solution and more quality. Basically, the goal of testing is really not to find bugs. Many think it is, but actually it's a measurement of quality. It's a byproduct to find bugs, and it will obviously get the quality higher when that is fixed. But what we do is really just measure where is the quality of any product. That being a product that we provide here, developing in CSC internally, or it being providing whatever the customer may be doing on their own. Then we will help them there, and that's the maturity thing. What we really like to do is the life cycle testing. That can be your old-fashioned waterfall testing in any project, but it can also be in the agile world. And again, it doesn't really matter what platform or what kind of it's infrastructure. We can do it on infrastructure. If it's applications, we'll do it on applications. Yeah, we'll do it anywhere. We like a challenge. In testing, we have, well, testing, we're using our standard methods. CSC has developed a set of standard methods that we use, but we're also basing ourselves on international standards. Meaning that we also make sure that our testers and test managers are certified to, well, we have a whole career plan for that, but to any level that we need, and we will go out selling those services, well, as a service. And we will also provide in a project, internal and external, as I said, any kind of testing. And we'll do automation and performance for the more technical parts of it. And again, you can do that in different kinds of tools as well. And
thank you, Beat. And if any of you who are listening in would like to know what we're looking for, drop by either CSC Talent or csc.com/Nordics, where you can read all about the program and also about the positions that we are looking for within test. It's within test management and within business testing. So quite an interesting career area actually also within CSC. Moving right along to the SAP, let's introduce Søren Winkel, who is the Nordic lead of SAP, and he will talk to you about the business and what SAP means in CSC.
Thank you for allowing me to speak to you. As we've been through, CSC is a global company. We have 6,500 global SAP practitioners. Unfortunately, not all of them are placed in the Nordics, so we want to add more, and that's why we're here talking to you guys. We are in all industries, we're in all sectors of SAP, and if you don't know what SAP is, which might be the case if you haven't worked with IT before, it's a huge international ERP system, which is it's a system that you use to control every aspect of a business, from logistics to sales to HR to anything, and SAP can do it. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, ERP system in the world, and it's de facto standard for all large companies. Even Microsoft is running SAP, so it's a huge system. We have been developing in SAP, and we have a lot of clients in SAP over the years. We have in many different industries. But in the Nordics, we are specifically focused on the public sector. As Hans mentioned, we are working with SCAT, and we have two very large SAP applications for SCAT, which we are doing development on. So if you want to join SAP or the CSC as an SAP trainee, that would be where you would go. You would begin your career working with us on tax, Danish tax probably. And why I think you should join CSC and what I think makes us a little bit different than any of the other companies having trainee programs is that you will get a lot of experience very, very fast. As you heard, Thomas, he had been here a month when his code entered production. I think that must be a new record for trainees. Hans, I know Hans personally has been also stretched to the limit. So we desperately need your talent. We need the innovative. We need curious, ambitious people. So when we get them, we use them. So you shouldn't be afraid of being only doing different or boring work. You should definitely join us if you want to make a difference, because I can promise you will. But in SAP, we also have a large variety of subjects you can focus on. You can do as Hans is focusing on finance, or you could focus on logistics. focus on BI, which is the reporting layer of SAP. We have big data, as Leah mentioned, which is also an SAP product called SAP HANA. So there's really no limit to what you could focus on, but it should be your interest that drives it. If you're not very technological, you could focus on the customer, understanding their processes, implementing them, customizing in SAP. So it's a very broad field, and really you should use SAP and your own ambitions to see where your interests lie and then follow those. And if you want to and is ambitious and curious, we would be more than happy to welcome you in CSC.
Thank you, Søren. And this is actually the second time around that you're looking for trainees. So.
That's true. Hans started in October last year, and it has been a huge success. Both Hans and the two other SAP trainees has done excellent work and are very sought after by the project managers and then the application managers. So we clearly want to extend that and have even more trainees. So it's been a huge success.
Well, thank you, Søren. Keep your questions coming. Put them in the chat. We will definitely get to your questions in just a while. And then let's move along so that we can get to your questions also. Let me introduce Navita Jain. She's here from Application Development and Design, and she will talk about the positions that we have available there in the trainee program. Go ahead, Navita.
Thank you, Leah, and thanks for the invitation. Yes, I represent the applications, which means the application designers and the application developers within the application area in CSC. Right now, we have around 400 plus of these profiles, and they're spread across Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, mostly in Denmark, where we are biggest, and they're spread across 4 different industries, like Bea also told a little bit about. So it's finance services, it's the public sector, it's the manufacturing area, and a 4th one which we call diversified. Here we have the telco area and the airline industry represented. So in CSC, I would say we actually have all kind of development languages. We have made everything from old ones to new ones. We've kind of broken them up in 4 areas, all the Microsoft specific ones, the mainframe specific ones, the Java specific ones, and then the web technology ones, where we also talk about that the mobility applications are within. So these are like the 4 biggest areas that we have. We have young people like Thomas, and we have people who have quite a big CV that spans over maybe 25 years and plus of development experience. And looking into what we have developed and what we have not developed, we probably have been in and looked into many of the very known systems in Denmark. So that is very interesting, that you actually get to code a piece of code for maybe Danish scat that we all have been into. So in that case, it's exciting to do something that actually gets out there and everybody sees. We really need young people to come in and help us with the top-of-the-notch languages. And in this, Java is a very important area. Java Grails, Java, all kind of Java is very important and hot right now. If we move on to application designers, so in CSC we usually call these profiles for our business analysts, and they also sometimes do a lot of testing. So if I were to like specify what application designer mostly work with in CSC, it's functional design. It is requirement specifications when we get a new area that either a client wants to expand a present system with or a new bit. And then they also help by estimating how much time will this take to build and how should we build it. And then they also support in the testing at the end when the project or the maintenance area reaches that point. So it's why I think it's interesting working in the application area is that you get to really work in many different areas of knowledge and industries, and you get to look into systems that you wouldn't normally think that you would get anything to do with. And you can actually move around not only from applications but also into finance or SAP. I have myself started as a consultant, but now I ended up in applications, and I think I've been around the company quite a lot, and maybe 5 or 6 different positions in 8 years. So you might not get to travel so much outside of Scandinavia, but there are great opportunities if you have the hype and the drive, and you want to be your own interpreter. Then there's a lot of space for you.
Well, thank you, Navita. And let's go to what you're probably looking for is, so what is it that we're looking for? I mean, we have the specific job postings out on both CSC Talent and the Nordic Career site. But just to give you a brief overview of what is an eligible candidate for this program. So we're definitely looking for somebody who have completed their, college or university degree or postgraduate degree. And within, of course, the fields that we're looking for, something technical, computer science, business discipline, and we want the best. So yes, we like outstanding grades, but we also like the track record to actually include some relevant work experience. It's very important for us that we actually have been working in an environment, perhaps not like CSC, but you've been out doing some real work also, so that you know how an organization works and how to network within an organization. We also require what we call an entrepreneurial mindset, leadership potential for those who want. But the entrepreneurial mindset is actually what keeps us driving this innovative strength that we actually want in our products and with our clients. So that's something we want as well. Creativity, willingness to learn. I think that both Hans and Thomas's story proves that, the learning curve is steep. So you really have the will. You really need to have the willingness to learn. Of course, sense of responsibility, because you'll be thrown into projects as of day one. So definitely need to be responsible and work independently. High level of commitment, and of course team spirit and social skills, which is obvious to work in a company like this, which is a very global one. Networking across cultures, across countries. Sometimes you'll have project teams with 5 different nationalities. So cultural awareness is something you also need to build upon as well. What does it look like? Well, completing what we call a trainee program here is something it will last for 24 months. There will be there'll be a career path. We'll turn to that in the end of this presentation. We'll have a slide that shows you what career development is like in CSC. And depending on your qualifications and strengths, you'll complete 4 to 6 project assignments in the business unit that you're assigned to. You will gain some insight into subject matter areas within the business unit, and you'll take on responsibility of your own in day-to-day operations, as Hans and Thomas's stories showed as well. And it's rounded out by what we call individual guidance, but also training that measures to meet the needs of both your needs, but also CSC's, of course. Some program details. A week and a half from now, the deadline for applying to the program is there. So you do that by going to either CSC Talent or to the csc.com/Nordics, and you click the apply button, you submit your CV and a short motivated application as to why we should, why you chose this. End May, early June, we'll have some interviews with candidates in Copenhagen if they're local, or we'll do it via Skype if they're from out of the country. End June, we're planning to send out contracts, and we would like the contract signed and returned to CSC by July. Program start has been set for October 1st, 2014. What should you focus on in your application? Well, definitely why CSC? Why are we so fantastic? Why do you want to work for CSC? What can you offer CSC? What distinguishes you from your other competitors in the market? Why this position? Why did you choose test, or why did you choose SAP, or why did you choose Java? Why is this so important? Do you have a passion? Where is your passion? And why should we choose you? So this is just some tips and tricks for your applications when you get to there. Last but not least, let's have a look at the career development process in CSC, and we'll turn to the questions in just a minute. CSC has a very clearly defined career development process. We use what we call a career map. It's in the upper left-hand corner, where we will ask our employees to actually explore the opportunities that are within CSC, reflect over their own capabilities, and also assess, okay, what can I do, where can I go? We have a career coach network, as you can see on the other hand side, that are able to guide you once you've been through the first 3 steps, which is explore, reflect, and assess. They will guide you so that you actually can interpret the results, prepare yourself for the next step in your career, and actually realize it. So that's a worldwide network that we have across CSC in all of the regions and all the countries. Now, to underpin this career development, we have what you can see in the lower left-hand side, what we call CSC University. That is an in-depth training curriculum with more than 35,000 learning assets. It's computer-based training, it's online books, it's mentoring, it's you name it. And it's something that can really help you have a fundamental knowledge about, for instance, ITIL or Prince certifications or PMI, but it could also be a Microsoft certification. It could be a Cisco certification. It could also be something about leadership skills. So it's a very, very huge and vast tool that you can use. Last but not least, we also have what we call career pathways that can help you identify a new career direction, take on a job with, for instance, greater responsibility, or maybe follow a suggested career stream pathway, and whatever is in your interest. So just to underline that career development is definitely a focus area within CSC, but we actually put it in your hands so that you actually try to explore, reflect, and assess where you want to go, and then we hope you go there within CSC. So this sums up our presentation for today. Please keep the questions going. And while we have the questions, here are some contact information that you can jot down, and then you can contact us afterwards if you have some more you would like to know. So let's go to the first question. What's the hiring process? Okay, well, you definitely submit your application and your CV via the 2 web pages, either CSC Talent or Nordic Career Site. Then you will be screened by our recruitment vendor. I was looking for the word here. They will call you and they will do a screening on you, and if you qualify through that screening, then you will be set up. They'll be set up 1 and 2 interviews with the eligible business units that you qualify to. Okay, Berit, can you explain a bit more about big data and analytics?
Yep, sure can. Big data is well, it's one of the bigger buzzwords these days. Having loads of data in a database and being able to test that from a testing perspective, that is, how can you actually efficiently test that it is correctly handled? How can you make sure that the quality of the data in the database is actually what you want it to be? And there are several different processes and how ways to go around that with, well, obviously a different set of tools, but also techniques that we have developed here, and that is also developed throughout HP Toolbox and IBM Toolbox and so on. What we usually do is when working with big data, it's usually within some kind of bigger program. It's a big database, can be based on pretty much any technology, usually also often combined with cloud, so it would be based in a cloud environment, so that would be scalable. It is also actually combined with the cybersecurity as well, or security in general, because there are certain rules concerning if it's governmental data, who can access what and why, and that also being tested through the big data. Big data and analytical is obviously used in several, larger, well, I guess Google is one of the bigger ones, but, that you can have all their data and how they, from a business perspective, how can we extract and help our customers with the right quality of data to do business assessment and also analytical work around the whole business area of how you can develop further what your customers want and what are the trends and so on. And that is actually part of what we try to test also, because obviously if the quality of the data in any big data environment is not okay, then your business decision will not be okay. So it's got a direct link to the whole business setup and your earnings as well.
So there's a follow-up question. Yeah. He says he's a diploma engineer recently in IT and communication engineering, and he's fresh candidate. How will you consider me being, for instance, a test application trainee program?
I gotta read it. Where are you?
Yeah, I am. I would say being fresh out of university definitely is an advantage, right?
Absolutely an advantage. It'll also be an advantage if you have, especially in these with big data, it often requires some kind of technical knowledge, and also being able to look at data and see how can the data be connected in different ways, so that you can use communication skills and business skills to look at data in different settings. And by that, we use tools to subtract the data and do analytical, doing reporting and statistics and trends and stuff like that. So I would consider you as a quite good candidate for that, actually.
Thumbs up. There you go. Next one. Hi, Søren. I'm really interested in the SAP trainee program. Can you explain a bit more about the applicant profile you're looking for? What background and personal qualities are a point of interest for you?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, first of all, the personal qualities is the most important. So I would expect that you will be curious and ambitious and proactive. That's the main, and able to take responsibility of your task. So that's like the general. Then of course there's the other criteria that you have a university degree and you are of a certain age and so on. But I'm looking for both technical trainees and business trainees. So it doesn't really matter if you have a technical background or business background. I mean, I can use both. So.
Cool. Somebody asked, how is the trainee program? Is it a full-time job? Yes, it is a full-time job. I'm sure that the hands can actually nod to that. No, don't do your thesis while you work full-time for CSC. So yes, it's a full-time job. Another one is asking what is the language, the most common used working language. I hope that you think that English is the business language, but you also talk about Java. So if it's in applications, I wouldn't know, but I'm looking at Navita to see if she could say what is the most common used programming language we use in CSC.
Java is very hot because it has a lot of products which are used across many systems nowadays. So yes, it's very hot. But .NET is also very hot, and that's a Microsoft project. Programming language. So that's probably the second hottest. And then everything within these two categories are used in any form. And it of course depends on, are you working on an application which has been, it's a legacy application and it's an old one, then might not be so hot languages on it. But if it's a new modernized system you're working on, then we have the more modern languages that we use in those areas. So.
Yeah. We have a question from Lithuania. If there are any trainee programs in Lithuania at the moment, no. But in Greta, you are more welcome to actually go to the CSC Baltics Facebook page and connect with people there, because I know that they're always looking for fresh and vibrant talent. So if you want to work in Lithuania, by all means, look at that website and see if there are any job postings that could be interesting to you. If I have a job now and want to apply to the program, how many applicants were... Okay, that's not the same. Sorry. If I have a job now and I want to apply to the program, well, definitely we're looking for people who are either fresh out of school or have 2 to 3 years of experience. So you're definitely eligible for the program. So yes, you can apply. And how many applicants were in the trainee program last year? Well, I think we have at the moment 5, right? Now I'm looking at these two guys. Yes. So we have 5 trainees and 9 junior managers. So we have all about 14. So you'll be joined. You'll join some young people as well. And of course, we have had former graduate programs as well. So I think if we look at the people who are below 35, there will definitely be a handful of 3 or 5 of them in our locations. So. And let's have the next one. How many? What's the best career path if you're para IT or simply newbie but willing to learn? Is it para IT? That's a good question.
It is.
It is a good question.
That is that you find interesting. What motivates you? Really? Yeah. So if technology motivates you, you can go for well, testing techniques, obviously, you can go for the sub and you will be able to pull anywhere. You can go for the application developers as well. There are several opportunities in that area, and willing to learn is absolutely a good quality.
Yeah, good. How many candidates will CSC hire for the trainee program? We will hire the best. I will not tell you how many, so send your application. And we will hire the best candidates ever. Somebody applied last year, and I really want to make a new try this year. I see you have made some changes on the candidates' qualifications, such as you prefer candidates have experience of testing methodologies. So thanks, Spirit, as I'm currently looking to be specialized. Oh, that's another question. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm jumping here. So, yes, there are some changes in what we're looking for. Definitely in this trainee program, we're looking for specialists. They don't have to be developed specialists, but we'll definitely develop them into specialists within the 3 areas that we're looking for people. Profile, definitely willingness to learn with the right attitude, the right mindset, good networking capabilities, and then we'll definitely teach you what you have to know, whether you apply for test, SAP, or for Java. Somebody is asking about the test. I'm currently using specialization on data analysis, and I'm using R language. Do you think that is a relevant skill?
Yes, it is.
Good.
That was a short answer.
Yes, it is. Okay. Can you please give any info on the Microsoft.net?
It depends on what kind of info, as I'm not a .NET developer, so maybe you have to specify that for me to answer it. And if I cannot answer it, I will find out and make sure you get the answer.
Yeah, we'll go back to you on that one. So keep your questions coming, and it's okay. Don't be shy. There are no stupid questions. But if that's it for now, you have the contact information for Thomas, you have the contact information for Hans, and you have the contact information for me. So if you have anything that you would like us to elaborate on, then go ahead. Trainee positions is located in Copenhagen only. What we have in Sweden and in the other countries, Sweden and Norway, are junior manager positions within sales management and delivery. Interviews, if you're located in the Copenhagen area or in Denmark, we'll ask you to show up. But if you're in a different country, we'll connect via Skype. And we will be hosting at least 2 interviews. We're in Copenhagen, Valby. Yes, you're right, Mubashar. That's where we are. We'll let you know, don't worry. So, any last minute questions? We're so happy that you actually were here. We hope that you find this interesting. We want the fresh, the brightest, and the young to actually fulfill their dreams within CSC. So, looking forward to receiving your applications. Have a great day, and thank you for your time here.